Yo, about to make the spot hot. About to set it off in this piece right here. So, blessing on to you and yours. Meaning that we go about finding that truth in our lives. But motivation that comes about for this session is that we got to go about being on top of our game. And then being on top of our game, it's going to help us to go about developing into who we are to go about developing into. Too many times, a lot of us want to become team players, and the ones that we are following is not really going about promoting a sense of worth, a sense of helping us develop to become what we need to go about becoming. The reason I say this is a lot of times we get into relationships and because we're tethered to these relationships, let it be male or female, we'll find people who are trying to go about running the show. But because they want to run the show, their sense of direction is egotistically driven. Now, the thing that we got to be careful of is when you're dealing with egotistical people, they don't give a damn about you. It's more kind of, you better do what I say, when I say, and how I say. Because they believe that you are subservient. And in you being subservient, that I got this person right where I want them. So if you find yourself in a relationship where it's abusive in nature, where you're being misled by what's going on. One minute the person wants to be with you, you're everything to that person. The next minute the person don't want to see you, talking bad about you. That's not a sign of a healthy relationship. And too many times we lower our standards and our values in believing that the person will conform or going about seeing our worth. But the thing that troubles me in this sense is that if you're not seeing your worth as a human being, then how the hell are they gonna see your worth? So it has to start with a sense of self. You have to go about valuing yourself in order for others to go about valuing you in a relationship. Because if you're not valuing what you're about, then it's not a good thing. And because it's not a good thing, it's going to be a continuous cycle where the abuse will linger on. Give me a second right quick. Let me do something right quick. Yo, your boy's back. We about to set it off, so don't even trip. I had to go do something right quick, handle a little business. You know how that go. You gotta keep things moving. And once you keep moving, it's hard to get you. Always remember that. Don't fixate yourself and be constant in one way of doing things. Always look for ways to go about improving on how you go about approaching and dealing with things in your life. Because the minute we become fixated on one way of doing things, it makes us harder to go about being versatile going forth in life. So the key is that versatility has to be a part of our mindset and how we go about applying ourselves, how we go about looking at life and doing things. Because, like I said, in relationships, your partner is trying to figure you out and you're trying to figure out your partner. But not everybody come with that same mindset and in a healthy involvement of helping one another get to a place that is harmonized. And in being surrounded by people who are, I would say, a tyrant to the social norms of constructiveness, it makes it harder. Because it's always the ones that ain't got no sense of direction that's trying to go about leading. They trying to lead, but they don't even know where the hell they going. And if you allow yourself to be misled by an idiot, you too will become lost. And in becoming lost, it will be hard work getting back where you're supposed to go. It's not impossible, but hard work. Life already has enough struggles as it is. We don't need to go about adding additional pressures just to make sure that we go forth in life. Because the one thing that we must do is look for ways and look for the signs. Am I dealing with somebody who goes about appreciating me? Or am I just dealing with somebody who looks at me as a commodity? And a commodity is, after you're done with it, it's disposable. There's no care for it, whatever happened. Don't become a commodity in the aspect of something that someone could go about picking up off the shelf. Look at yourself from a viewpoint that goes about helping you have value. And if you're in a relationship and you're not being valued, then that within itself is a problem. Because if you're not being valued in your relationship, then it shows you where you stand in your relationship. But don't go about making excuses for that. People gonna be themselves. Not everybody gonna love you. Not everybody gonna care for you. But one thing you could do is you could go about valuing yourself. You dig? Because too many times I've seen situations where male and female, they have gone about going out of their way, breaking their backs for the one they with, but because that other person didn't have no appreciation or value for them, it was all done in vain. Because that person did not go about valuing themselves. And anything that you do in life, let it be corporate, let it be relationship, value who you are as a person. When you go about valuing yourself, then others will come to go about valuing you. That is the beauty in which the constructs of life goes about giving it meaning. Because if we're doing things and not finding meaning in what we're going about doing, then we have to come to the realization that we're merely wasting time. And time is too precious. It's best to do things with a purpose. So, for those who go about finding themselves in a situation, regardless of outcome or outlook, do what's best for you, and everything else will follow. Because if you're putting other people in front of you, then you're going to go about losing. And one thing that we have to go about understanding about this life is patterns are formulated by things that we go about doing, practicing on a daily basis. So don't let that become something in which you are incorporating into your lifestyle as far as putting others first. Because you too will believe and start to go about accepting that that is truth. But in accepting, we have to go about changing the perception. And in changing that perception, we have to go about doing things that helps us to understand. Oh, mother brother.